Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a really interesting problem called Meeting Rooms 3. It's marked as a hard problem, but honestly, once we break down the rules for how meetings are scheduled, it becomes a lot more manageable. It's basically a simulation problem where we need to be careful about managing time. Let's dive in. Here is the problem description. We are given an integer n, which represents the number of rooms we have, numbered from 0 up to n-1. We also have a list of meetings, where each meeting has a specific start time and end time. The goal is to figure out which room ends up holding the most meetings. If there's a tie, we pick the room with the lowest number. Before we code, we need to completely understand the rules, because this is where the complexity comes from. First, if multiple rooms are free, we always pick the one with the smallest room number. Second, if all rooms are busy, the meeting gets delayed until a room frees up. Crucially, the meeting duration stays the same, so if a meeting was supposed to be 1 hour long, it will still be 1 hour long, even if it starts 3 hours late. And finally, we process meetings based on their original start times. Let's walk through an example to see how this plays out. We have two rooms, room 0 and room 1. We have 4 meetings. At time 0, the first meeting arrives. Since both rooms are empty, it takes room 0, because 0 is the lower number. Room 0 is now booked until time 10. Now at time 1, the second meeting starts. Room 0 is occupied but room 1 is free, so it takes room 1. Room 1 is now booked until time 5. Then, at time 2, the third meeting arrives. But wait, both room 0 and room 1 are currently in use, so the third meeting has to wait in line. At time 3, the fourth meeting shows up. Again, both rooms are still busy, so it joins the queue. Fast forward to time 5. Room 1 finishes its current meeting and becomes free. The third meeting has been waiting the longest, so it grabs room 1 immediately. Its original duration was 5 hours, so it will now run from time 5 until time 10. Just a quick heads up. We'll be walking through the solution using Python logic, as it's really clean for these concepts. But don't worry if that's not your main language. I'll be showing the full code for Java, C++, and JavaScript towards the end of the video, so stick around for that. Our first approach is basically a simulation. Since the problem says we process meetings based on start times, the very first thing we should do is sort the meetings. Then, we can maintain a simple list that tracks when each room will be free. For every meeting, we just scan this list to find a room that is free right now. If none are free, we find the one that will become free the soonest. Before we get into the code, let's talk about the real reason people fail at Leetcode. It's not because they can't reverse a linked list, it's because they break their daily streak. I built my daily to-do specifically to solve this. You can set Solve Daily Leetcode as a routine task. This means it reminds you to complete your routine tasks every day. It's a dedicated system to force you to be consistent, which I also use to remind myself to upload these videos every day. If you're watching this channel, you're trying to improve, so this tool makes sure you actually show up to do it. I also want to be 100% transparent about how this app will grow. I am an indie developer, not a big corporation. I will never take away a free feature you already use. Core features like repeating tasks remain free forever. However, as I add new server-heavy features, they will be part of the premium plan to help cover the costs of running the app. Also, the price of premium will go up every time I ship a major new feature, so the best time to get involved is right now, while it's early. Check it out at the link in the description. Okay, we've talked about the big picture and the logic. Now let's see what this looks like as actual code. I'll put the full solution up on the screen first, and don't worry, after that, we'll walk through the most important sections together. Alright, here's the Python code for the first approach, the one called sorting and counting. Don't worry if it looks like a lot, we'll walk through the key parts step by step in the next few slides. First, we initialize two lists. The room availability time list tracks the time when each room will finish its current meeting. The meeting count list just keeps score of how many meetings each room has hosted. Then, crucially, we loop through the meetings, but only after sorting them. This ensures we handle the schedule in the correct order. Inside the loop, we check our rooms one by one, starting from room 0. This order is important, because the rules say we must pick the lowest numbered room if multiple are free. If we find a room where the availability time is less than or equal to the current meeting start time, great, it's free. We mark it as found, increment the count for that room, update its next availability time to the meeting's end time, and break out of the inner loop. But what if we check every room and none of them are free? While we were checking, we kept track of which room would become free the soonest. If the found unused room flag is still false after checking all rooms, we use that soonest available room. We calculate the duration of the current meeting by subtracting start from end, and add that duration to the room's current availability time. This effectively delays the meeting. The previous approach works, but scanning every single room for every single meeting can be slow if we have a lot of rooms. We can optimize this using priority queues or heaps. We'll maintain two heaps. One called unused rooms will keep track of rooms that are currently empty, always giving us the smallest room number first. The second heap, used rooms, will track meetings in progress, ordered by when they finish. And here's the code for that mathematical approach using heaps. Notice how it's often more concise. Let's quickly talk about how it works, specifically how we manage moving rooms between the two heaps. We start with all rooms in the unused heap. When a new meeting arrives, the first thing we do is check our used rooms heap. We look at the top of the heap to see if any ongoing meetings have finished by the time our current meeting starts. If they have, we pop them off and push the room number back into the unused rooms heap. This essentially refreshes our available rooms. Now we try to book a room. If there are rooms in the unused heap, we pop the one with the lowest number. The heap does this automatically for us and start the meeting. We then push it into the used heap. But if the unused heap is empty, it means every room is busy. So, we pop the room from the used heap that ends the soonest. We calculate its new end time by adding the current meeting's duration to the room's previous availability time, effectively delaying the meeting. So how fast are these solutions? The sorting step takes big O of m log m, where m is the number of meetings. With the priority queue approach, each meeting is pushed and popped from the heap at most once, which takes big O of m log n. This is much faster than the first approach for large inputs. The space complexity is simply order n, because we only need to store information for the rooms we have. Alright, that covers the main solution in Python. As promised, for those of you who code in other languages, I'm about to show the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. I won't be breaking these down, so just pause the video on your language of choice to check it out. Alright, as promised, here is the full solution in Java. Note that we use a long array for availability times to prevent overflow. You can pause the video here to take a closer look at the implementation. Next up, here is the C++ version of the solution. We use long here for the time tracking. Again, feel free to pause and review the code. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Hopefully seeing it in a few different languages helps solidify the concepts. So let's wrap it up. We looked at two great ways to solve this. The first was a direct simulation using arrays, which is simple and works well when the number of rooms is small. The second used priority queues to efficiently manage which rooms are free and which are busy, which is much better for scalability. Both approaches require careful handling of the meeting duration when delays happen. Also, if you're looking for even more Leetcode problems beyond the daily challenge, I've started a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked. It's where I'll be posting solutions to a ton of other problems. So if you're serious about your interview prep, be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Hope this Leetcode solution breakdown made sense. If it helped, give that like button a click, maybe subscribe for more, or drop a comment if you have questions. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you know straight away when I upload a video, because I upload videos daily. If you want to support the channel, a few people have asked how I plan my solutions. I'm a big fan of sketching out the logic and data structures on a tablet before I code. It really helps. I've put affiliate links in the description to the tablet I use and a few other good options. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra but really helps me out. Or, if you're feeling generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Keep coding and I'll catch you in the next one.